Hey kids, how about a little extra magic hour?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Extra Magic Hour podcast with your hosts, Tony Casanova and Parkhopper John.
You know what made that intro even better was that big clap of thunder that happened right in the middle. God approved. Welcome to the Extra Magic Show. Extra Magic Show.
Extra Magic Hour
show, everybody. You can tell I've been out of the pocket for a couple of weeks. Anyway, we're so glad that you're here. This is the first of two shows that we're doing for all of our Patreons because we love you guys and appreciate the fact that you're supporting the show. One thing you guys could do is go out and share your love and passion for the show with other people. We would love to grow the Patreon. And maybe you're thinking about upgrading. Maybe the $5 amount is awesome, but you'd like to get a little bit more of the benefits. So we would appreciate that as well. All right, so
wait, let's go and say this. We took a poll. We had a query that maybe two shows was too many, and we took a poll. It was a split decision, so we made a decision to keep both shows. So that's the way it's gonna roll.
Yeah, we had some great feedback, and we appreciate feedback.
We like everybody's comments.
And we talked about it, and then we ran a poll, which, you guys are the Patreons. You guys are the deciding factor. And then it just came down to a decision. And so we're going to keep the Extra Magic Hour show. If you don't listen to both, I get it. If you only listen to one, that's fine too. Yeah. It's there for you guys,
Yeah, I think it's the interview show, that extra show that throws people off. And listen, it doesn't happen often, but, we like to throw some extra content out there, and, you have the final decision on listening or not. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. So a few weeks ago, we had our good friends Raphael and Jen, which, by the way, I owe Raph a big thank you for sitting in for me last week, to tell us about the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge experience they had at Disneyland. Well, Tony and I have had the distinct privilege of being invited separately to go experience Galaxy's Edge with some cast member friends of ours.
Yes.
Now, unlike other bloggers, we're not leveraging our relationship with cast members so we can get content. We just out of the blue got invited.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful for that. I was actually able to take my wife. They specifically wanted me and Sid. They could have taken any members of their family, but chose to take my wife and I. So I thought that was nice.
Yeah, see, and that's the weird thing. This cast member preview thing is only a +1. And, somebody else I know who is a cast member has got 3 kids and a wife. And not to piss any of them off, didn't take any of them.
Right.
So that not one kid or the wife would make the other people in the family, piss off. So he wound up just taking a friend, So I feel that if they're going to do a cast member preview like this, should it be for your entire everybody living in your house should be able to go. I'm not saying you're an entire family, because if you're Italian, that could be a couple thousand people, but your entire household, right?
Yeah. Now, could it be abused? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But think about the good, what's the word I'm looking for?
Goodwill
that Disney could, and they could certainly use a little bit of that in times like this.
Sure.
But nope, it's only a +1.
Yeah.
So that's the way that was.
I think that's very upsetting to a lot of cast members with large families, or even families more than one.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't know. I bumped into somebody else actually last night who had the same dilemma. He had a +1, and he was arguing really about who his +1 should be. you know.
Right.
So, anyway.
So let's begin at the front end of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. When you walk into the big archway,
the Tunnel of Doom.
As you got past the security people, what were your first impressions as you made the transition from planet Earth to the planet of Batuu?
I will say this: I don't want to ever see their concrete bill for this land. Everything is made of concrete. Everything, everywhere, is made of concrete.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a concrete tunnel, and I like the way they kind of made it a low ceiling to kind of, focus you, and then as you walked in, it was like, poosh, here's the land. Right. So I think that was its intent, is to make you feel like, all right, you're going into this thing, this tunnel, and then poosh, here's this huge land. And it is pretty big, size-wise.
It's what, 14 acres?
Yeah.
I loved the transition from, you were in concrete. There were not subway tiles, but there were tiles.
Right.
And then they turned the corner a little bit, and then it started becoming otherworldly.
Right.
And then you came out of it, and like, boom, there's an X-wing sitting right there.
Yeah.
At that moment, I started hearing the sounds.
Ooh.
And started seeing it, and I actually started to tear up a little bit. I didn't start tearing up until much deeper into the experience, and I'll tell you when that moment was. But for me, coming out of it, and even the going into the experience,
right,
and then the coming out of it was, I mean, we rag on Disney a lot, but the experience of going into Batuu and coming out of Batuu is visceral. Yeah. It was it's Imagineering at its best.
Yes, they did a great job. The theming is some of the best they've done in a very, very long time.
Right.
The last time they built not the last time. Let's go back. So Fantasyland was a whole new redo, right? That was the old Fantasyland, now new Fantasyland. Yeah, right. The theming's nice there. Yes, you get it. You're in a fantasy land. Toy Story Land is good. I don't think it's great. I think there's a lot more things that they could have done. I would have liked to have been in Andy's backyard. That would have where everything was big and I felt like I was shrunk down to the size of a toy.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like I've shrunk down to the size of a toy in that land, even though that's what they say. But this was really above and beyond. You really felt like you were on another planet. You cannot see anything. You cannot see any of the Hollywood studios inside this land. Don't go looking for it, because it ain't there. It's gone.
There's nothing that gives you the feeling that you're in Florida.
Yeah, except for the heat.
But they even played that into the story as well.
Except the fact that my sweat was sweating.
Well, the way they play that is because you're on a planet with 3 suns.
Yeah.
And it was just brilliant. I loved how they
played it out. Felt bad for the cast members having to wear like that hoodie thing. I'm like, really? No, yeah.
Specifically asked them about that. Yeah. So what if you haven't been yet, what he's referring to is the PhotoPass photographers who are, in my opinion, some of the best that Disney has created.
Yeah.
They were
trying to really do some interesting shots.
They were amazing, and they were super interactive.
Yeah.
And even though they were, we all know in reality what they are. They're cast members.
Right.
Even though they knew that we knew that they knew that we knew that we knew that they knew that we,
Right.
They still kept it. And so we would say, isn't your outfit warm for someone who lives on a desert planet or someone who lives in such a hot area?
Right.
And the one person we asked several people the same question. Well, on our planet, we've grown accustomed to the heat and the weather. You have weather similar in places on your planet, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But the way that these materials are crafted is such a way that it actually pulls the moisture away from our skin, and we actually feel cooler. because we're used to wearing these outfits. And
Right.
I was like, well, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a lot of them sweating their brains out, and they kept pulling their hood back up.
Yeah.
So I felt like I didn't feel as guilty. But, like you said, my sweat was sweating upon sweat.
Yeah.
What was the first ship that you got close to that really blew your mind?
It was on the right-hand side, I believe. I want to say one of the land speeders.
Yeah.
Was the first one that we went to go take a picture with. And talk about the photo pass. So I had my mirrored sunglasses on. And what the Fast Pass person did was she had me turn to look like I was partially looking at the land speeder, and she took a picture into my mirrored glass and took a picture of the land speeder.
Oh, wow.
On my sunglasses. So it was like me, and then really you see the land speeder through the reflection in my glass. So
wow.
And it was funny because another cast member did that too over by Kylo Ren's ship as well. Tried to get a reflection in glasses of the Kylo Ren ship. Yeah.
That's a cool effect. We had
and the one other thing too was most of the Fast Pass photographers were telling us, you're going to get your pictures, but these may not be the best shots that we have. We're still trying to figure out the settings for all the different times of the day. Still, apparently, they adjust. For bright time, dark time, daylight, sunlight. So
right.
They said. You'll have to come back and, update these pictures because they're not going to be probably the best shots that we have right now.
Wow.
Which is good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, when I came up on when you walked in, they had the X-Wing in the front, and then they had the one on the side, but we rounded a corner and there was like the land speeder, the original Star Wars land speeder, hovering.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, I'm 7. I was 7 years old when the movie came out. I was 7 when.
Don't you wish that there wasn't a fence, like you could have actually gone on it or touched it or something?
Yeah.
That was the disappointing thing. Like, so close, but yet so far away.
But the galvanizing moment for me was rounding that corner and standing in the shadow of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh God, yes.
That's when I lost it. I was like, this is, for all the crap that I give Disney about dumb stuff, and they do plenty of it.
So somebody asked, do you think that is full scale? If the Millennium Falcon was real, is that its actual size? Or
I don't
or is
think
that
so.
Scaled down?
I think it's scaled down.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because we know that thing can the command area can sit 3 people across because they've done it in the movies. But when Chewie was in there for the dedication ceremony, he filled it up.
Yeah.
So I think it's even a little bit smaller than what that.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Right.
It's my opinion.
It's like they couldn't build a Death Star. Where would they put it?
Yeah. If Disney could figure out a way to carve out the circle in the circle on the moon, they'd do it. Yeah.
Oh, God. I want to go back to one thing you said was the sound. I think the sound effects in this land is bar none the best thing they've ever done anywhere. I don't care.
Absolutely.
If you're standing, you hear ships crossing over your head. You hear stuff talking. You hear other ships. The sound effects are the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Without a shadow.
Anywhere
of doubt.
you are in the land, some sound thing is happening.
And you're not necessarily hearing music.
No,
you're
music.
hearing a constant vibration.
Yeah, like engine starting up.
Yeah. Now there is music around, but you have to be close to. You have to be close to the cantina or whatever. But when we walked in, we kept turning around corners and it kept going.
Yeah.
And we turned another corner and it kept going.
Yeah.
And then we turned another corner and it kept going. I'm like, good Lord, how big is this place?
Yeah.
And that was the part that was exciting. And then when we finally got into the heart of it and we turned around and we looked up at the Black Spire.
Yeah.
I know what those are. I know those are just mountains on a stick. I know.
That's what we've been calling them, mountains on a stick.
I drive by
behind
them
that
all the time.
Yeah.
But for that brief moment, I was like, I am on another planet. Those are mountains miles away.
Right.
And it was just such a great experience.
Yeah.
I love the other part that I loved the most was the fact that there was no queue lines to get your picture taken with the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chewie was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The characters that they had, like the Rebel, the really tall girl with the black and blue hair.
Right. Yeah.
They had all the pictures that I've seen, and on the day we were there, she was a very tall, very pretty African American girl, and she had black hair with the blue tips.
Yeah.
Running around, being rebellious, and then they had stormtroopers everywhere.
Right.
I never got to see Kylo Ren.
Yeah, I didn't see Kylo either. I think for the cast preview, the entertainment is a little on the low side. They didn't have the full-blown entertainment stuff out there.
Yeah. Oh, I did see Rey.
Oh, yeah, I did see Rey, and she's really looks like Rey.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a really good doppelganger.
Chewie always had someone with him that they would do these little skits.
Yeah.
That were okay.
Right.
I wish they would mic them a little bit better, figure out a way that we could hear them better, because unless you're standing right in front of them, you can't hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like to torture the stormtroopers.
Yeah?
Yeah, when I see them, I always go, pew, 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 pew. And they're always like, they give me the, all right now, calm down.
That's funny.
I go, pew, 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 pew. They're like, all right, calm down now. I get the same thing every time. But I do like to torture them.
How many of the shops did you go into?
That I could tolerate the non-air conditioned sweating.
Yeah, not those shops. I call that the mall. I don't know what they call it.
I think they call it the marketplace, right?
The marketplace, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about some of the other shops.
I went into Savi's workshop.
Yeah?
Yes. The cast member I was with did buy a lightsaber. I did not, but they did. And I will tell you, it is a religious experience.
Yeah?
That's what they're really making you... or making it feel like. Yeah. There's this whole ritual they bring you through. They tell you about the lightsabers. They tell you about, how they got started and, blah, 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 blah. And then you assemble your lightsaber. You pick your pieces. It's, for each part, you have two choices and you pick those choices. Well, there's a menu of what kind you want. There's I think my cast member picked the elemental one, so it was kind of nature-ish looking, wooden handle, yada yada.
Right.
But you can pick what kind you want, and then they come around with the crystals, and you can pick which crystal you want. They're all glowing, so you can say, "Oh, I like the red one," or "I like the blue," and I'm sure some people know what those all mean.
Right.
I do not, but that's okay. So then they walk you through how to assemble it, and then there's other cast members to help you, put your thing together, your lightsaber together, and then they put it in the little thing, and then the door opens up, and it's all lit up, and it's a whole shenanigans. We probably waited. I videotaped it, and it's about 17 minutes from start to end. And I don't think it can run longer than that, because what I found is the guy who's given the spiel has light cues. There's a little thing on the other side of the room that tell him, because there's certain music cues that he has to hit to make this experience, on point.
Right.
So he pretty much has to stay on cue and to move this thing along. So I think 17 minutes probably about the mark where. So be prepared, because there will be a line for this, because it doesn't move quick.
Yeah. Um, I'm not gonna pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Ithorian.
Oh, the
Yeah,
other
okay.
thing I saw, which I thought was a little off-putting for Florida, is they had the orange, like Jedi jackets. That
Yeah.
you'd see in the movie. They're down. Who's
Oh
wearing
my.
Who's wearing a down orange jacket in Florida? It looks really awesome. It looks like it's authentic from the movie. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks dead on for that. But I'm like, what would I do with a down jacket in Florida?
Yeah, nothing.
I would have to send this to New Jersey and only wear it 3 days out of the year.
Yeah. I went into the look in the I don't have my map in front of me. The whatever of antiquities. What's the antiquities?
Yeah, hang on. I went in there too. La 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 la. Shopping. Huh. Oh wait. What? They don't. Wait. Hold on. They don't have it in there. They don't have it on the
All right.
Disneyland one.
So,
Doc Ungers? No.
no.
Why isn't it on here?
I'm looking it up here. Den of Iniquities.
Yeah.
Doc Undar's Den
Yeah.
of Iniquities,
Right.
which is where you can get your
Kyber crystals.
you can get your Kyber crystals, you can get your holocrons. But the thing about this place, there are three things specifically.
Okay.
One, it had a working Sarlacc.
Mm-hmm.
Two, and I don't know the name of the creature, but it had a working creature from the trash compactor. It had a little
Right.
one swimming around.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that got me was the hammerhead guy, the Ithorian.
Mm-hmm.
The guy with the face who's, it's a hammerhead looking guy.
Right.
Behind the cage, talking
Right.
and moving and breathing, and I lost my mind. Because that was my first character when I was a Star Wars fan.
Right.
When I was a little kid, that was the first character that I ever owned.
Wow.
And he was my favorite character, just of the things. I mean, Luke was my favorite character, but
Right.
it was so crazy to see him
Yeah.
talking
Right.
and moving, and that one shop alone, I think is where I could spend probably 2 hours just taking photos of all
The
little
other thing they have is all of the lightsaber handles that you can buy.
Yeah.
Like over in Launch Bay, you see them on display there. Well, they're actually for sale now in Star Wars Land. And the other thing that was interesting, and I'm sure this will get lifted later, but for the cast preview, it was only one item per person.
Right.
And they were only giving a 10% discount for cast members. And it was only during the preview. They will get no discount when it opens on the 29th. So it was buy now or forever hold your peace, because you're going to pay full retail
right.
August 29th on.
Wow.
Now, I'm sure at some point that'll get lifted, but I think probably for a while it's no discount for cast members. So
Yeah.
that was the other interesting thing there.
Did you eat?
Yes, we ate at Docking Bay. And I want to know how they made my chicken square. It was literally a square piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had some kind of very hot sauce, which next time will not be on my plate.
Yeah. Everything there. Everything.
Mm.
Because my wife and I were there with two other people, so we had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And everything had a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah.
But
There's not a lot there. I mean, it's 4 items.
No. I went over to Ronto Roasters
Oh, okay.
and got the sausage wrapped in a pita.
Sausage?
Yeah, it was great. It was
Yeah?
so good. Had a little bit of a kick to it, but it was so good.
Yeah.
And I just love the Ronto Roasters where it's got the robot
Yeah.
cooking with the
Yeah.
engine.
Now, was there something on the wrap a sauce that was making it hot that you could have said, "Hey, leave that saucy hot thing off," or was it the sausage that was hot?
Yeah, I think it was the sausage,
Oh, okay.
but I would have ordered it just straight out anyway, just to try it.
Yeah.
I think honestly, all across the menu items at all the places, are going to have to tone down that heat a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we also tried the popcorn.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Not
Spicy.
Yes. One of the spicy bits got caught in my throat, and I was dying.
Wow.
So again, it's one of those things where it's like I get that a lot of people are liking the spicy, but it was a little much for me, and it was a little much for my wife who likes spicy stuff. The popcorn was just funky.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We didn't go into we did not get a cantina experience.
Yeah, no.
We did not get a lightsaber experience, and we ran out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to try the cantina experience for my pass holder preview. I think I'm just going to go. I've been on the ride 4 times. I think, all right, that's great.
Yeah.
I think I want to see if I can get into the cantina and try that out.
We only got to ride the ride once.
What?
Yeah, because it started becoming like an hour wait.
What?
Yeah.
10 minutes the entire time we were there.
No.
10.
It got busy quick.
Really?
So now that you brought it up, let's talk about the ride.
Sure.
Which positions, if you rode it 4
I
times,
rode all of them.
You did all the positions?
Yeah, that was our purpose. We did one time as pilot, one time as gunner, one time as engineer. And then the last time
how many people were in your party?
With me, there was only 2 of us. So, we just said, we want to try that one. And they said, all right, well, you have to wait a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. There's plenty of things to look around in here.
We were a party of 4. We got put with this couple.
Oh, boy.
Who, we didn't find this out until the end, who had been on the ride a couple times and had been, what is the word? It's the gunner, pilot, co-pilot,
and the
engineer. Oh, God. So my wife and I were both engineers the one time we rode it.
Yeah.
But had a great experience. The ride in and of itself is just phenomenal.
Yes.
But
very well done.
When our experience, the people who were flying were an older couple.
And lacked a little the old eye-hand coordination.
He stared at his screen, his area. He never looked up once. She looked up and never looked down. So there was things that she was supposed to do she missed. And
did you ever make it to light speed, or was that just automatic?
Oh, we made it to light. Yeah, it was automatic. We made it to light speed. Well, one time we screamed at him, "Pull the button!" So somebody reached up and pulled the lever for him. We made it to light speed twice. We crashed, but we only lost about 2,000 credits. So if there was a complaint about the attraction, it's this: if you're not piloting, or if you're not in the gunner position, it's really hard to enjoy that attraction.
Yeah, I kind of like the engineer. I thought that was the easiest. Push colored buttons that lit up. I thought,
right,
and I could pay attention to what was actually happening on the screen because any monkey can push the button. Yeah, I don't need to be looking at the buttons. I know they're all there.
You did though. Yeah, you did though.
Well, I could see them light up out of the corner of my eye. I just give it the whole hand slap, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. So the Okay. So let me go back. Let me go back and say this.
Yeah.
When the lights went up, all the buttons weren't supposed to be pressed. Mm-hmm. So you had 2 banks of 4 buttons.
Right.
And then you had a big button.
Yeah.
So button 1 and 2 and 3 and the big button had to be pressed. You're bop, bop, bop. Mm-hmm. So I kept pulling my attention over.
Right.
So I kept losing connection to what I was doing. Versus the people who were in the gunner position were beep, 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 beep.
And it's funny because you can tell if the gunners are doing their job because there's a blue light and a red light, and if the lights aren't, if you don't see the phaser blast, you know that the gunner guy is not shooting anything.
Right.
So it's very easy to go, hello, stupid, push the damn button.
That's the only thing about that I didn't really dig. I didn't dig the fact that I had to pull away from it for so long.
And being the pilot, I will tell you, it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah.
All
right,
especially since you're only doing half of the flight control.
Right.
I was doing left to right, and then somebody was doing the up and down, and they're going up, and I'm trying to go left, and it's like I'm sure this ship just wants to split apart.
Right. So overall, it was great. When we left, there was some sputtering and a little bit of noise, but it was a great experience.
So how many cargo containers did you get?
1 or 2, I think.
Yeah.
We also had a hard time finding how to get out.
Yeah. There's not a lot of signs that point to an exit.
Not enough.
Yeah.
So
and it's weird that you have to then go downstairs.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we took the elevator.
Good for you.
Right next door.
Why would you take the elevator?
It was easier.
Holy crap! You can't go. Anyway, I'm not even going to touch that one. So, as we start winding up here, did you try the blue or green milk?
No, there was a line for that, and I wasn't waiting in line for milk.
It's not great.
Yeah.
We tried it with the alcohol. It was very thick.
Oh, really?
It was horrible on a hot day.
Yeah.
I tried it with the rum. So
you think that would be like a nice milkshake thing to cool you down? Yeah.
No, you would, but it's not, and it's because it's not a milkshake. It's it's a concoction of a bunch of plant-based milks, and it just was not. It was just not great. I didn't like it all that much. The rum didn't help.
Milk.
Yeah. So.
Did you go into the marketplace stores?
Oh yeah, bought a few things at the marketplace. As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I thought.
Why do you think they did not air condition that entire space? It was hot as Hades up there. Yeah. I had to leave. I said I can't take it in here. I really can't.
Yeah.
It got very hot.
Yeah, that area is warm, but I'm sure at night all of that place is amazing.
Yeah, I didn't see it at night either.
But yeah, it was very hot up in there, and there's no air conditioning in those areas.
No.
Like the stores aren't air conditioning themselves.
No.
So that's a little bit of an issue, but
I feel sorry for the people that work up there. That's horrible.
Yeah. How many of the cast members did you talk to? Did you try to find out some of the backstory of Batuu?
No, I didn't really. We were trying to really just rush around. We weren't really. I'm hoping to do some of that with my Passholder preview because it'll only be me, so I'll be able to do a lot more meandering.
Yeah, we actually we talked to a lot of the cast members, and we found out why they say to the Spire or until the Suns or whatever their phrases are.
Yeah.
And it made sense, and it was cool. It was a good backstory. So I mean, it was it was a good experience in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be interested to see how long all that stuff keeps up.
Yeah, and it was interesting too. When you purchase something, they said, "Well, that's 14 credits."
Yeah.
So here was I thought a missed opportunity on the Millennium Falcon. You get credits for successfully or not successfully running the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
But wouldn't it be great if you could tap your band and collect those credits and then use them in the marketplace area? Maybe you got a free Coke or maybe you got, whatever. But I said that's a missed opportunity because you would then get people to go back many, 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 many times and try to do it well in order to get more credits.
Yeah, get more credits, and then once you get a certain allotment, you can, it's like fun zone tickets.
Yeah, like a carnival. Collect all your tickets, and then you go back and say, "Oh, I can go buy myself that orange down jacket that I've been wanting." But I really thought that was a missed opportunity that I couldn't. And the other thing I didn't try that I have to try is where you can use that Play app to interact with the land.
Right.
That's the other thing that I did not figure out yet.
Right. Well, we'll figure it out. We've got a lot of time.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts on Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah, my final thought would be this. If you are planning a trip, I would probably hold off till Rise of the Resistance. It looks very nice from the area they had, with their little portable plants blocking it. You can see the entrance, and then you can see where the exit point is, too. But I would say you're probably going to want to do both. Yes, it is great right now, but it'll be even better when Rise of the Resistance is open, and you get to do both things.
Yeah.
And their entertainment schedule kicks into gear.
Yeah, I'll say if Rise of the Resistance is supposed to be the showstopper,
yeah,
then that's going to be an amazing attraction because I thought the Millennium Falcon ride was pretty great.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm still hearing it's going to be about 28 minutes, and you are going to get out of your ride vehicle, interact with characters, and then get back in your ride vehicle to continue your journey. Yeah, about 28 minutes.
Wow. I do wish that they would have included some of the original heroes from the original movies.
Yeah.
But I understand why Disney did what it did.
Yeah.
But all that being said, so I give Star Wars Galaxy's Edge a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying all that because I was so kind of against it a little bit. But to experience it was something altogether different. So
yeah. We'll have to do a show on because I have some thoughts and opinions on Star Tours and Launch Bay and what will happen to them.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something because that Star Tours is way out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But the problem with Star Tours is if they include
it looks like a kiddie ride next to Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, but if they include it, now they have the problem of now they've got classic characters interacting with the Batuu characters.
Right.
So, anywho, that's our thought. So, that's it for our show, guys. We appreciate you being our Patreons. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, to support us. We appreciate that very much. Always trying to do different stuff here, testing out the doing the show from my house. That's a different feel. It's different. But we appreciate you guys being our Patreon. Stay tuned because later on this week we're going to have our extra Magic Hour show. Extra Magic Hour show. And it's going to be awesome. So check that out. And as we always like to say here, if we don't see you online, we'll see you in the parks.
The Disney Parks Podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.